What are some beginner tips to get into Birds of Paradise? The top 3. Okay, so top 3 tips to coming into Birds of Paradise. For beginners, like I kind of went through it, but I'll just do it again. So always knowing the kramas. This is beginner, or not beginner, but version, depending upon what you're going on with your shoulders. This is krama 1. This is krama 2, right? And this is krama 3, and then krama 4 is the bind. Yeah, so those would be the ways of coming into Birds of Paradise. Suggestions for people who can't get into the pose. I just went into that. How the peak pose worked with today's theme and or story. So today's theme was Bag of Bones, singing over the bag of bones. And I find with Birds of Paradise, you got to really stack your bones, specifically of your standing leg, in order to come into this pose. They've got to stack properly, or else you're not going to be able to hold the pose. So we're singing our bones into a particular shape. And that's how I weave the 2 of those in there. Yeah. If practicing Birds of Paradise on my own, what are 3 poses to prep or warm up for this posture? So you need to open up your groins, you need to open up your shoulders, and you need to open up your hamstrings. So triangle pose would be opening up groin and inner thighs, right? Shoulders would be kind of the stuff that we did. So half bind, right? You could even do this malasana where I am right now, taking the bind, right? Modified side angle pose, right? Really triangle pose, half bound triangle pose into full bound triangle pose would be the poses you would do before to warm up. Are there other classes on the site that prep for Birds of Paradise? No, this is actually the only one that I can think of. So that's why we were so excited to finally launch it. I find Birds of Paradise a very intricate pose, which is why we're doing it in a 90-minute class, because at least for my own body, and my body's fairly open, I need a bit of time to come into it. So that's why we why we did this pose in the long variation of the class. When you did the last twist sitting down, are both your butt cheeks need to stay on the ground? No, I said that in the pose itself. So we were doing this variation of the twist. So when you're twisting like this sit bone, opposite sit bone, is coming up off the ground. You're actually allowing the front of the pelvis on the left side to go towards the inner right thigh. Great question. What can you recommend for releasing the jaw? Great question. So a couple of ways to release the jaw. If you take the tip of your tongue and take Jiva Bandha, it's called, where the tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth, where the palate meets the teeth, the front teeth, tongue there, that naturally releases the jaw. Another thing that Anna Forrest talks a lot about, I can't remember the first line of this, but it's like, I think it's like lip smacking toe. I can't remember, but you essentially move your jaw left to right. So you lick your lips and then you move your jaw. And so I couldn't remember the name of it, but I think it's like lick lips, jaw. Yeah. I'm a little yoga stoned. So those would be 2 ways of doing it.